Minister says, God. Gramp says, God damn.
Oh, no.
She almost put me under the seat.
Oh, gee. How old were you then?
Oh, probably 5, 6.
Wow. Oh, my goodness. So what church
He
was
was a
that?
naughty little boy.
Baptist church down the center. Woolwich Center.
Yeah.
White church down there.
Hmm.
Yeah, that was our old church.
So you grew up in Woolwich?
Yeah.
Yeah. And tell me about how things were when you were growing up in the area, in the towns. You know, you've got a lot of great stories to tell about different things.
I went to every grammar school in Woolwich but 2. My grandmother took care of sick people. And I lived with my grandmother mostly because my mother worked out. My mother and father separated in 1924. So, back in those days, were all horse and buggy, you know.
Yeah.
In the wintertime, especially, that they used to go and she'd stay right to wherever she went. When they did, I moved from schoolhouse to schoolhouse.
And these were the kind of little ones that we have, a couple of them left here in the area.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's right, little one-room schoolhouse. And I went, the biggest one I went to was Saggy Hot Ferry, and that was down by the Bath Bridge. That was on the Woolwich side. And that was quite a big school. I think there were probably maybe 40 or 50 kids went to that school.
How many different classrooms were there? Just one in that place too. Yeah.
1 through 8. The big grades helped teach the little grades.
So as they got older, they would be responsible for helping the younger kids. Huh?
They helped the teacher. Yeah.
You ever get any mischief?
Oh yeah, I mischievous.
That was a foolish question.
It was. What kind of mischief do you think you got into, Pearl?
I never got in any mischief.
You never did. No. Practically perfect in every way, huh?
Oh boy.
No, I'm not moving.
No.
That's really something.
Where did you go to school, Pearl?
Yarmouth.
In Yarmouth. Is that where you grew up?
Yep.
Yep, that was our hometown.
Now, my mother and father and family moved there. 1918? I was just a little fella.
Yeah.
My sister says she wheeled me up Black Road in the baby carriage.
Very good.
Then she went to Yarmouth Academy too,
Oh, okay.
for high school.
So, Willie, tell me, what was the first car you ever owned?
A 1925 Ford.
Yeah.
Model T. Paid $40 for it.
$40.
Yep.
That's amazing.
And then I had a 25 Chevrolet. And that sounded like one of those old-fashioned peanut roasters when it was going down the road. And it had a noise. And then down to the Baptist church in Woolwich. When the Depression come, a fella put a 1927 Chevrolet in the carriage house down there, where they used to keep the horses like the hall is over here, only that used to be a carriage house.
Carriage shed, yeah.
I was talking with a salesman that worked for Chevrolet Garage, and he said, we've got a car we repossessed up in the carriage house, up to the Center Church, and they wanted out of there. Now, what will you offer me for it? I said, I'd have to look at it. I looked at it, and I said, sitting in mud, wooden wheels sitting in mud, clear to the hubs, you know. It had settled right down in it, been there quite a while. So I offered him $15 for it, and he went in the office, and he came out, and he said, it's all yours.
$15.
So I went down with my pair of horses and hauled it over the mud. My cousin went down with me, put some gas in the gas tank, and cranked her up, put a battery in it, and cranked her up. She went, and he drove it home, and I drove the horses back home. We lived up the road, it was 3 miles. And I used that for quite a while.
What was more reliable, cars or horses?
or horses. Yeah, they'd go home anytime, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't have to pull them out of the mud either.
No, because I was used to horses. We had horses on the farm, you know, and we hauled days that I didn't go to school when I got around 12. They want nothing from send me with a load of wood to Bath.
Mm.
And that was back when you went across the ferry. And the men on the ferry used to watch me because I'd go on with a big load of wood, and they thought I couldn't get back off on the ferry going up the ramp. And the horses knew more than I did. And I knew how to drive them.
Mm.
And I got going up north end of Bath one day, and I got caught in the railroad track, car tracks, electric cars.
Oh, yeah.
And a man come along, he says, "What's the matter, boy?" And I said, "I can't get out of the car tracks." Well, he said, "You get out of the car tracks just like you when you get stuck in the woods. Put some wood on the sled and then swing it off." So he helped me. He said, "Now you learn something." So I thanked him, and I went on my way.
How old were you?
Oh, probably 12. Might have been a little bit older.
Mm.
Big enough to drive a pair of horses anyhow. Was brought up right on the farm. You know.
Sure.
And we used to go up the north end of Bath, and wherever the folks had sold the wood, unload the wood, sit on the set of sleds, feed your horses, eat your cold dinner. Then you'd head back. We lived 7 miles up the country, and all open fields, and the snow used to blow and the cold, and you walked most of the way home. Glad when the horses would be getting tired. Well, 11 miles each way time we went across the bridge, across the ferry, and went to the north end of Bath. And it took all day, you see, with a pair of horses.
Wow.
Down the Saginaw Ferry, where the trains done all the shifting. See, they hauled the trains across on the ferry too. And those engineers and firemen on those shifters would watch somebody, and when you went across the bridge over the railroad track, they loved to blow off steam and see how far your horses would jump. And the horses would go up the road all aflame. They used to pull those tricks all the time. Either that would blow the whistle, you know, and the horses scattered it.
Didn't make your job very easy, did it?
No, it kept you on your toes. You wouldn't be hanging on. You got so you knew enough to hang on about the time you see that engine anywhere around. Because those men would blow off steam or so forth.
What year was that about?
Oh, that was probably, now let me see. I was born 15. That'd probably be what? 10, 25, 26 along there, 26 in that year. Because the bridge opened in 27.
It's a lot of responsibility to have a team of horses, have to go 11 miles each way.
Oh yeah, yeah. But they want, in the wintertime, there weren't many cars around. Very few cars. In the summertime, when you went on, when the ferry boat was running, the outsiders used to get awful mad, because if you had a pair of horses or a horse, and you coming down to where everybody was waiting to get on the ferry, the horse had a right way to go ahead and be the first one on the ferry. And then people used to get mad. You would go right down by the line of cars, you know, and go on. Because they'd pick on us kids more than anybody else.
Wow.
Then it got, you know, so everybody had trucks. The first truck I ever drove, if you're interested in that, first truck I ever drove was one with a 1-yard body on it with a hand crank dump. And that was a Model T with a Rexel shift in it to have more power. And we, of course, all the gravel in those days was all shoveled by hand. And as soon as they can get you to drive one, they wanted you to drive. And there used to be 3-4 men in the pit all the time shoveling the gravel, and you'd haul the gravel out on the road, and they'd be leveling it by hand back in those days.
Now this was just to put gravel down. This wasn't tarring at that time. It was
No,
just putting
one
gravel
time,
on.
Just putting gravel on. Now one piece of road we built down in the village, just before we got to our house, they built it all with horses and carts. And men leveled everything by hand. And the next piece of road, this was in 2930, they had a bulldozer and a shovel, state shovel, and that loaded all the gravel, and trucks hauled all the gravel. And small ones, some had 2-yard bodies, some had 1-yard bodies, and they made them out of anything. A lot of them took a old Buick car and cut the frame off and cut part of a Model T Ford truck frame and welded it together and made a truck out of it, because they made a good truck that way. Then it, of course, went from there. I worked for a farmer down there, and I worked 11 hours a day, 6 days a week, for $9.
Wow.
Back in those days.
That's a long week.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Really.
What was the now you started driving when? About
1930. I
1930?
had my first driver's license. And to drive a truck, you were supposed to have a chauffeur's license. And I can't remember for sure whether I ever got a chauffeur's license or not. I don't remember. You had a little button you wore on your hat or something.
Oh, really?
Back in those days. I don't think I don't know whether I ever got one for sure or not. The hunting license used to be 25 cents for a lifetime hunting license in those days.
Lifetime.
Yeah.
What's the biggest change that you've seen? What's the thing that made the biggest impact in your life over the years?
Oh. I suppose the biggest change is when all this stuff went to bigger trucks and everything. Back, I bought my first truck in 49. I bought a new Ford truck, and that was 2 ton, hauled 4 yards. And let me see, in 53, I bought another one. And I should have bought a 6-yard truck then, but they was a lot more money. And I couldn't see it far enough ahead, and I didn't. I bought another 4-yard. And then the tire crews, I worked on the tire crews. We had 29 tire crews in the state of Maine, and there was 10 hired trucks on each tire crew. And you couldn't have anything bigger than a 4-yard, because they went along, had to lift the bodies up, and you'd pull the telephone wires down back in those days. Of course, they got them higher now. Then they went to 6-yard, and the tire crews stopped, and they started paving. And that was when I moved to Connecticut and went to work for Artistic Wire.
Pearl, what was when you were a girl? What was your favorite toy? Did you have a favorite toy or something you liked to play with when you were a girl?
What?
Did you have a favorite toy or something you liked to play with when you were a girl?
Not really.
No. What'd you do for fun?
One time I remember my mother and father bought my sister and I, dog carriages,
Mm-hmm.
and that's about all we had other than,
You had a doll to put in the doll carriage, though, didn't
oh
you?
yeah,
Yeah.
essentially.
Um,
We didn't have too much to play with.
how many kids in your family?
My mother and father had eight children.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them were a lot older than I am.
Mm-hmm.
I had a brother that was 5 years older than I am. And brother and I never got along. For some reason we never had sex.
Hmm.
And then there was me, and there was three children younger than I am. A girl and two boys. And my youngest, my brother, who was next to my sister, when he came, he weighed something like 15 pounds.
Oh my goodness. That's a big baby.
Yes, it is. And I can remember him as he grew up. He said, when I was born, I had a broken arm, and his arm was broken up in here.
Mm-hmm.
They broke it, but he was delivered.
Oh my goodness gracious.
But he lived to be 9 years old, and my family's quite allergic to appendicitis. I think all but my mother had it.
Hmm.
Mine was ruptured. Some of the other kids had worms in their appendix. Some were just plain ruptured. And I can't remember what they all had. But mine, I know I was sick, quite sick, in the hospital for 14 days.
How old were you
Ruptured
then?
appendix.
Remember how old you were?
12.
Yeah. Hmm. Scary place for a 12-year-old to be, huh? In the hospital?
Yes, it was, but I was put in a room. My sister was training in that hospital.
She was a nurse.
She was training for a nurse.
Mhm.
And that was my oldest sister. And they put me in a room where older people were,
Hmm.
I suppose, to watch and help them. They couldn't get out of bed either, but they could call somebody else.
Yeah.
But we get along. I know the first night I was there, because it was operated on, and I had to go to the bathroom. And I tried my best to get out of bed.
Mm.
And my sister and some of the nurses came in and told me I had to stay there. I couldn't get out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I stayed right there. I did as I was told. I didn't dare do anything different.
Gosh.
But I got better, and then I think all of us kids had appendix some way or
Yeah.
another. They all had it. And even my father, when he was about 60 years old, I took him into the hospital, and they operated on him for appendix. And we didn't know if he was going to make it. But he did, thank goodness. He was pretty sick. But he made, Mama went in to attend his office and to get somebody to do the work that he had that done. He was a tin knocker.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was the oldest, so I had to get the meals and do the best I could.
You know, you guys have seen an awful lot of changes over the years.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Um,
yeah.
What out of all the things that have changed over the years in society or in technology or whatever it is, what was the best? What was the thing that you say, boy, that was probably one of the best things that ever happened in my lifetime as far as society and those kind of things?
I don't know. I can't remember. I know I never liked school, I'll tell you that.
Well, some things never change, huh? For
There's
kids.
a lot of us that didn't like school.
Yeah, yeah.
We had to walk about 2-3 miles to school. And I never liked school. I never liked it.
No.
Just before you got to their house, they had a big sales stable. And they had all those horses come in from the west, and that used to scare the kids those horses would run up to the fence to look at them, and that would scare them.
Skip the hills and go down around the other way.
Yep.
But a whole herd of horses. Not just one, but a whole herd of horses. Around that fence.
I suppose our biggest change, you know, we was brought up on the farms, and we thought that was the only thing to do, was farm. Not big farm, but little farms, you know, like there is around here. There just wasn't any money in it. But it was hard to think that you had to give it up, you know.
What troubles you most about, or what kind of things discourage you about the world today?
Well, the worst problem I see, I don't know how they're going to handle it, but the way a lot of the young people are acting today, I don't know whether it's all dope or what it is that they're getting into. If you listen to that scanner all the time, you can't imagine what's going on around you, even right in this area. It scares you.
Makes you wonder sometimes.
All these people beating up their families and all those things. You can't, we can't imagine it because we never lived like that. But we don't know today who you're looking at or what to say to some people.
Yeah, I can imagine that's got to be quite a troubling thing, especially when you grow up and you're on a farm and you're in an area where you know all the families around you and the people around you and so on.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of changes. Because everybody used to be pretty good natured, you know. You heard of somebody getting hurt or getting a fight or something like that back along, but well, you can't imagine what's going on right around here.
What kind of things do you look forward to in the future? What kind of things do you think would be good for society, good for our towns, those kind of things?
Oh boy, that's a hard subject.
What's that, Mama?
We talk about times when prohibition was on, you know, and there used to be 3, 4 in town maybe that drank and showed it. But look at the people today. I'm just amazed if I go down here to the little country store and see the people lugging out beer by the case every night. And I know some of them that they do it every night. Now, we didn't used to have that as bad. There used to be people that drank around, but not like there is today.
You worked at Bath Iron Works for a number of years.
Yep.
Now, Bath Iron Works, before World War II, what did they do there?
Well, because they built yachts and stuff like that, but they started in, way back. I went in 1938, and they were building destroyers then. And also they were building some yachts still. And they built some cargo boats back in those days.
When did you start working for them?
1938.
1938.
Yeah. 52 cents an hour.
What were you doing?
Pipe cover.
That was with the asbestos pipe covering materials and so on?
That's right.
And of course, OSHA was right in there, making sure that you didn't breathe any of it. And
Back in those days, there wasn't nothing. You know. Even till we started getting sick, you know, there wasn't nothing to protect you.
Remember the names of any of the ships you worked on?
Oh Lord, yeah. Lamson, Sampson, Drayton. Oh, all went by numbers mostly.
Yeah.
I've got a book that's got the whole list of all the ships that worked on. During World War II, you realize that once they got started, we put a destroyer down the river every 17 days.
It's amazing.
That moved. I worked after fire rooms most of the time on main steam covering. And every 17 days we'd move from one to the next. And they brought the ammunition and everything right in and loaded it right on them while we was working on it. And when they was done, they went right down the river and went right to the war.
So as soon as they hit the water, they were ready to fight.
From there, yeah.
Yeah.
They had a few days on the water then.
Probably do some kind of shakedown cruise to make sure everything worked properly.
They didn't have many of those either back in those days.
No.
They done most of it right at the dock,
Mm-hmm.
and then took right off. 'Cause I almost think when they first went out, they went to Boston, and I think some of our men went with them. And I know one day one went out, and they said just before that one went down through the outlet of the river, that they blew up a submarine down there, a German submarine. And they told about it at the yard, that's as far as it ever went.
I think there was one sunk down near Long Island too during that time.
Yep, that's right.
I guess a lot of people didn't know how close the enemy was back then.
That's right. And when we had air raids tests every so often. And I used to have the main dock on the night shift. Boy, one night I got out there, and just as I got out there to the main dock, you had to carry a flashlight, because the minute they blew the siren, all lights went out in the shipyard. They doused everything. And you had a flashlight to get out to your place, wherever you was going. About the time we got out there, a whole fleet of aeroplanes went right overhead, just skimming the yard. And we all thought we was gone.
So what was it? Were they flying over just to give you an idea what it would be like if there was an air raid?
Yeah, it was from the Brunswick Naval Air Station.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That must have been a frightening night.
Yeah, it was. I didn't know whether to run or stay or what to do.
Wow.
Yeah, quite a thing.
Now, when you were out securing the docks, did you carry sidearm?
No,
No. Okay.
the guards did, but we didn't. No,
You ever know a town character?
a town character?
Yeah, a town character.
Oh yeah, there's a few of them around.
Got any good stories about a town character? Maybe not somebody we know today, but somebody that
Yeah.
from days gone by.
Yeah, we had one old fellow, his nickname was Sider Stinson, down in Woolwich. And I come across the bridge when I was going to high school, and here he was laying under my Model T Ford, and he had the petcock turned just a little bit, drinking that old-fashioned antifreeze right out of the radiator.
Oh.
And you know something? He married a woman, and they was down at the beach swimming, and he wasn't drunk, and he got drowned. And he got in all kinds of messes, you know, when he was drinking around.
He was drinking your radiator antifreeze.
Yep. I kicked him right in the seat. I said, "Get out from under there."
Kind of rough.
Yeah. He never forgot that as long as he lived.
Gosh.
Yeah. He,
Yeah, I suppose some people get that addiction. It's awful tough.
Oh, yeah.
Cannot imagine drinking somebody's radiator fluid though.
yeah, but we had a fellow that worked in the bath iron works, and he'd work about 6 weeks, and then he'd go on drunk, and you know what he tapered off on? Canned heat.
Sterno?
Yeah, he ate that. And he'd be just almost dark colored as a colored person when he finished off. And he'd straighten all out and get to be a white man again, and he'd go again.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah.
So what churches, you attended church when you were a boy over at Woolwich?
Yeah. Up Woolwich Center, really.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Bill used to attend the Baptist church in Yarmouth.
We never went every Sunday, though.
You didn't? No.
No.
What kind of things do you remember from church when you were a girl?
Huh?
What kind of things do you remember from church when you were a girl?
I can't remember too much. I wasn't there enough to remember. I know there was two women there who had charge of the Sunday school. Well, they had been in an accident, and one of them was crippled. She was in a wheelchair or something, I don't know what. And the other one was all right. She taught us at school, Sunday school. But I must admit, I was kind of young and foolish, and I didn't pay much attention.
We was all young
I'm
and
sorry.
foolish ones.
Yes, we were.
Yeah.
When did you start going to church because you wanted to go to church, or when you started? When did you start going to church on your decision to go?
Many years ago,
Yeah.
when Mr. Mullis was minister over here.
When John was minister over here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He took us in. That was after Jordan died, hadn't he, Mother?
Yeah. First we got to know him was when our boy John died. Down at the Baptist church in Woolwich, we had a time for John.
Nancy, my daughter-in-law,
Mm-hmm.
get the group together, get the minister and everything, the church and everything, so that we could have a memorial at a home near our house for John.
And
The
so,
whole church was
how did you meet John then?
John
John
Minister-
Mullis?
Yeah.
The minister that was down to that church was busy the Sunday that we asked for, or the day we asked for. I think that was a Saturday, wasn't it? I think it was a Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And he recommended John. And Nancy and Lynn got John.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when we got to know him. And John and his wife used to come over see us quite often.
When you say Nancy and Leon now, who are you
That's
talking?
our boy.
Okay, that's right.
And his
Okay.
wife.
Yeah. Mhm.
The ones who live over the door.
Mm-hmm.
So John kept coming over to see us, and we decided that if he was good enough to do what he done for us, we'd go to church. And then we joined the church.
About how long ago was that, you think?
Oh, that must have been, well, it was 10 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
at least. 11, going on 11 years, I guess.
Good. Very good.
What's John, gone about 10 years, boy?
Yeah,
Huh?
yeah, 10 years ago, I think, to be exact.
We really haven't been church members too long.
Yeah, 10 years. That's a pretty good amount of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the church, though. I love the little church up here.
Yeah. Well, people are all nice over there. We enjoy them all.
Yep, good group of people there, I think.
Yeah, very good. And they got a nice minister now, too.
I'll have to drop by and see him sometime.
Yeah, that's right.
He's good, but he dropped by to see us, too.
Yeah, that's right.
I'll send him around.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Now, how's your new car going? Good?
Yes, it is. Thank you. Thank you
Yeah.
very much.
That's good.
Yeah.
And how's your family?
Oh, everybody's doing really well. We're looking forward to. I'm gonna turn this off now, I guess. we're looking forward to
I did when I was working steady all the time.
just doing odds and ends and
Yeah,
so on
for
with
the
the truck.
factory.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause I don't know whether you're real acquainted with East Hampton or not. Where Artistic was, they bought another factory set of buildings right south of them, right down next to town. And they stripped them all out. And I hauled away all the old lumber and garbage and stuff that they stripped out of them and took it to dump. Because I worked on maintenance. I made an agreement with them that once I drove my truck, I'd work it for so much.
And this was East Hampton, you said?
Yeah.
That's on Route 66?
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a friend that lived that grew up there.
Oh, yeah.
I believe Huckleberry Avenue or Huckleberry Lane or whatever. There's a nice lake there with some
Oh, yeah.
houses around it and so on. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a nice lake.
Yeah.
Well, I know the name of it, but I can't think of the name
Yeah.
of it.
Pog.
Yeah, Pokady Pog.
Pokady Pog. Yeah, those Indian names, aren't they
Yep.
great?
Yeah, they bought a big set of a warehouse building up on the lake and
Mhm.
made it all into a place for all the people that worked at Artistic to go to and swimming and everything.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, a dance hall. There was a dance hall.
Mm-hmm. They turn it into like a beach club kind of thing for the workers. Yeah.
Yeah. For those,
Boy, that's great.
Yeah.
I have a friend that built a house on the lake around the back side of it, and he's got beautiful. Actually, I guess what he did was he bought an old cottage and then he reconditioned it and added on to it.
Oh, yeah.
And it's quite a nice place, log cabin.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. Used to know a lot of people up around the lake then, back then. This 55 to 60. Got to know a lot of people. Where I worked maintenance in the factory, I got to know a lot of the people that was working in the factory, and they had to go work on machines and stuff, you know, like spot welders and presses and all that stuff.
Let me see. When you were there, was the turnpike built from Norwich to Hartford at that time?
Just being built.
Just being built.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we lived in Hebron, which was only 20 minutes down the road.
Oh, yeah.
For about 6 years.
When we first moved down there, we lived up in the country, and the boys went to
Bacon Academy.
Bacon Academy.
Bacon Academy, great
Yeah.
school. Yeah.
Some of the kids at Bacon Academy told Paul, was the youngest of the two boys that went there to school, that he wasn't old enough to be there to school. He was small at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he said, I guess I know where I'm supposed to go.
Oh boy, kids say some things sometimes you wish they weren't. You know,
Yeah.
they say some hurtful stuff, and they can be unkind at times.
Well, they used some of the men down there used to call me a stump jumper because I come from Maine.
That was nice of them.
Yeah.
Made you feel welcome.
Yeah, I said maybe I'm a stump jumper, but I'll tell you one thing: our sewerage don't run down through the middle of the town.
There you go.
So they didn't peg me anymore.
Yeah, you know that for a long time the rivers there were just awful.
Oh, yeah. And you imagine that factory pumped the water right out of that stream, and all the wash basins and everything. That's what they use for water.
What did they use the water for in the manufacturing?
Run through all the machines to cool the machines.
So it came out with oil on it and
Oh, yeah.
other stuff and so on.
And run just before they moved, they had to put in a septic tank and drain field, and all the water all over the factory building had to be piped out of a well. And I don't know how much copper tubing I used. I done the most of it.
Hmm. Now they went to the Norwich site
Yeah.
in what year?
1960.
1960, okay. And that's when you decided you weren't gonna follow there. You just helped them get
Yeah.
everything
Yeah.
buttoned up at the other place, and you came back north.
I told them I'd stay till they got moved. And they were supposed to be all moved in March, I think it was. And I stayed to April, middle of April.
Hmm.
I told the big boss I couldn't stay any longer because I was going back. I wanted to get back here when all the extra work started because I didn't know what I was going to do. Because all the people that lived around us was all from Maine. They told me I was crazy to move back here. They want nothing to do. And I moved back here. We moved back here on Saturday and got it all straightened out. And Tuesday I went looking for a job, and Wednesday I went to work.
Wasn't any problem getting a job then. Where did you go to work when you came back?
Artistic, well, I went to work for G.A. Peterson Company, Transitnic Cement, running their plant in Brunswick.
Mm. Oh, that was you were fueling
No,
trucks and that kind of thing.
No, that was batching out cement and
Okay.
running the plant and
Mhm.
keeping track of all the cement in the silo and running the crew that I had and so forth and so on.
When did they finally get the first bridge there in Bath across the river?
1927.
That must have been quite. I mean, they must have been celebrating that, except for the ferryman, I suppose.
Oh yeah, yeah. They built that all up the north end, up to a shipyard that worked during World War One.
Mm-hmm.
They built that all up there and floated it down the river and set it on the piers. I got pictures of it.
Wow.
I'll show them to you someday.
I like that. Maybe I could borrow them so I can scan them in as part of this.
Okay.
Now, when did they put the train bridge in?
At the same time.
Same time.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got a picture of an old steam shovel that they were using, and my cousin was fireman on that, firing the steam motor.
Mm-hmm. Steam shovels used real steam back then.
Yep. Yeah. Had a big boiler on the back of it.
Yeah.
That they fired with wood, you know.
Mm-hmm. Now, what about all the? I mean, you can see all the old piers and docks that are upriver from the bridges.
Oh yeah.
Those people must not have been happy with the bridge going in, and you couldn't get ships past that anymore.
Oh yeah, yeah. That draw lifts up.
No, it does.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
that's right. And the also the other bridge turns, doesn't it? The train bridge.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh no, it all goes right up in the air.
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
All right. So there wasn't a problem with that then.
No. That give them more freedom than this new bridge does.
Right. But the new bridge is taller though, so it'll allow some things to get underneath.
Yeah, up to 72 feet, I think.
Okay. It's interesting to look at all the different inlets and rivers and so on along the coast and see all the old pylons for the piers that are still there. You know, no piers anymore, no docks anymore.
I know it.
And I would have loved to have seen what it looked like when.
Well, there used to be what they called the coal pocket, up to where they built this new bridge.
Mm-hmm.
There used to be steamers in there all the time.
Delivering coal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
delivering coal.
Hmm. Well, things really changed an awful lot over the years.
Oh boy, I guess they have.
Not a lot of people heat with coal anymore either.
No, that's right.
Although I guess some people still